Yo, let's work. Just you and me, Alberto, huh? Just you and me. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah, it's weird. You know what's getting a lot of traction though, Alberto? You follow me on TikTok? My TikTok's getting weirdly a lot of traction. Um, Weirdly enough. I don't know why. But TikTok is getting the traction. You don't have TikTok? You should get it. It's free and, you know, easy to get. Where's everybody at? The alert went out for me. I got the alert. So next raffle, well, we got to finish this one still, will be for a Muhammad Ali bobblehead. I need 4 more for this one. I don't know if this is going to happen, but Mike, where you been at, Mike? Oh, you know what? That's why I'm going to put on the light. Hold on. Where you been, Mike? There we go. Isn't that better? I'm not so damn white. Not so damn white. I couldn't chat. Why not? Oh, so you've been in, just not talking? Yeah, I'm working today too. I'm doing a bunch of shit. Trying to unload this business of mine, but I'm making a Aaron Pryor video. Just finished writing the shit. I'm gonna record it and get it out by tonight. It's a beautiful day on the East Coast. It's damn near, I don't know what the weather is. It feels like fucking 80. I think it's about 80. Feels like about 80. What up, blood? Feels like about 80. It says 70, but I don't believe that. That shit feels like way hotter. Northern Cali. You Mexican, right, Mike? Yeah, you are. I remember that. I don't know why, like, when I hear army dudes, I feel like it's usually black or white dudes. I know that's, like, on average, Mike, matter of fact, you tell me, am I right? Aren't the majority of dudes in the army black or white? Like, you don't see many Mexicans in the army? Or am I wrong? I don't know. That's kind of what I would guess. My stereotype. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Nope. Not all of you, but almost all of you. Well, there's only 6 of you in here. And only 3 of you talking. So, I don't know why there's only 6. Is my arch nemesis live? Bailey is not Northern Cali, CJ. Bailey is Atlanta. Mike, E-Rock, and you, yes. Well, E-Rock and you are the same, but Bailey is Atlanta. Unless he moved to Cali, but I know he's from Atlanta. I could have sworn he lives in Atlanta still. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You almost never see Mexican dudes in the army. You like never see like Chavez. Like, nah. It'll be like Jefferson or McCoy. You don't see Chavez or Lopez. See? Told you he was from Atlanta. And you ever hear him talk? He does not. He sounds Southern. He does not sound like he's from California at all. At all. What you've seen, they did Santiago and A Few Good Men. No, I never saw A Few Good Men. Is that the one where there's like, you can't stand the truth? I've seen that scene, but I've never seen the movie. So I have yet to be approved or denied for Friday's fight. However, However, I reached out to my good friend, the Big Aristotle, a.k.a. the Big Diesel, a.k.a. Superman, a.k.a. Shaq Fu, Brick City's own Mr. O'Neill, who officially put in the request to Turkey to get me at this fight. So, last I heard, the request was put in. So I'm unsure if I'll be there, but I feel like that probably exponentially skyrocketed my chances not only to be there, but I might get like not even media on some just like front row seat shit. I don't know. We'll see. But it's very likely I'm going to go anyway, I feel like, because you could stand around. But I think now I'll probably be there at some good, front row capacity, VIP type shit. Because people think Ryan O'Reilly is a good fight. I hope it's a good fight. Yeah, they hazed the Latino soldier to death. Oh, okay. My man Shizak. I mean, it's dope that he's trying for me, but who knows if it'll work? Because you deal with levels, right? So Shaq asking is a high level, but now Shaq asking for himself, like, yo, I want to be there, highest level you can get. Shaq asking for somebody like me, like, yo, my man wants to be there. And that's upper middle. Like, Shaq is highest. Me through Shaq is upper middle. Me asking for myself, just by myself, that's lower middle. You know what I'm saying? So there's still levels, but way more likely. Unlaced, what up? But I appreciate him. He's a good dude. We'll see. I mean, shit's in my hometown. Minutes from where I grew up. Literally minutes. 2 minutes drive, 3-minute drive, and like a 10-minute walk. Maybe 15. Yeah, I would say 10 to 15-minute walk. I could walk to Times Square in 15 minutes growing up. Never did because this shit's a nightmare. Or back in the day, it was just, there was an arcade there. I don't think anybody's in here from old school from New York like me. Not right now, at least. Because for some reason, I only got 5 people in here. But when I was growing up, there was an arcade in Times Square. So Times Square had nothing but peep shows. Just peep shows. And it was desolate. It was dirty. They had this one Hell's Kitchen is where I grew up, right? Which is right. Anybody who knows Hell's Kitchen is the neighborhood right before. So 42nd Street begins Times Square area. Hell's Kitchen is the neighborhood right after that, right? So like 43rd Street's Hell's Kitchen, 42nd Street's Times Square. It's like right there. And they had in Times Square, they had a little strip with, it would scroll like this, digital strip that was like top of the line back in the 80s, and it was just the news. So I remember my mom would take me every now and then. I'd play in the arcade, which, by the way, an 8-9-year-old should not have even been in that. That shit was ratchet. It was all kinds of crazy shit going on in that arcade. But I would play, and my mom would stand outside and just read the news, read like the scroll. That was before internet life, people. You play arcade, you actually talk to people, you read shit. Mark, you grew up where the film, where they filmed the show You? I don't know. I don't know that show. Oh, TVV's live? Okay, well. Like I always say, the goal is to have people rather come see me anyway. Or I'm not even trying to take away people from his fucking, get my own crop. Because the truth is, we're very different shows. Why was it ratchet? Because they're Hispanics and blacks? Is that a real question? No, you're joking, right? I assume you're joking. This shit was bad. All kinds of shit. I'll be honest, so I kind of miss it. And you know what? I don't think my wife Tia, wants to admit it, but I think she misses it too. I think we might get her back. Johnny's on there with two-tone. Okay. That's cool. They can do what they want. I'm gonna be live for a little bit. I gotta go with my daughter at the, a little over an hour, and we're gonna go out and enjoy this weather. So, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be in the city tomorrow. I got a business meeting to try and unload my business with some people, and then I'm gonna go to. There's a media event for the Ryan fight, right around the Empire State Building area. Actually, no. Not Empire, right around the Madison Square Garden area. So I'm going to go there, go to that event. And Friday, I'll be back for the fights. What I got to do is figure out where the fuck I'm going to sleep. Because I don't want to be taking the train back like 2, 3 in the morning. The train stops running. I guess I probably could. But the train stops running late. I could sleep in my mom's crib. She's not there. Maybe I'll do that. It's right there, too. Went to training camp, graduation, believe Fort Bragg and NC, predominantly Hispanic, Asian, the blacks and whites, crazy because the majority of individuals. Okay. Wait, you were. Hold on a second. I don't know. Training camp, graduation. What's that mean? Were you in the Army, Bailey? Yeah, I have to, man. I have to. It's not doing well, and we have something else we have to do anyway. But yeah, I have to. It's just not. I got to. I didn't. No, I didn't. I did not. I'm in the process of trying to do that. What up, Eric? What's the next venture? I'm gonna keep doing this. I have something else. I'll talk about it when it happens. I don't want to get into it now, but it's something, a family thing on my wife's side that we have to kind of, take over. Blessed, highly favored. What's up, Eric? My friend from Haiti was. Oh, okay. Sac passé, nap boulet. Sac passé, nap boulet. Sac passé, nap boulet. Blind Faith, what up? Blood. Pro tip: safest spot to ZZ is a subway station. That is not. First off, appreciate the super chat as always.
Thank you. Come again.
But that is not a pro tip. That is a get your ass robbed and possibly stomped out tip. No. Bad. You know where it's safer to sleep? In the train itself. Some people do that. The problem is cops will come and they don't really fuck with you if you don't look homeless. They'll let you sleep. Because, I fall asleep on the train all the time, legit. But when you grow up in the city like that, you have a clock. The second ding dong and the bell, you're up and you're looking like, oh, okay, no, 2 more stops. That kind of thing. Are you attending Dumbo Elephant Drop? The fuck is that? I don't really go to Dumbo. I mean, that's where Gleason's gym is. But I don't really, now that I don't live there anymore. I mean, and I didn't really go to Gleason's that much anyway, man. My home gym was in Manhattan. We're most likely going to the Tank vs. Roach rematch until next year, possibly around January. Okay. What up, Remy? Okay. We'll see. I know I'll be at this bitch Friday on the BART Amtrak trains after rated. Okay. Yeah, the subway is a different beast, CJ. And, you don't look homeless. If you look homeless, they don't let you sleep. They wake your ass up, kick you off. You know what I mean? At least here. Oh, there's this nasty video of a homeless dude or a drunk dude sleeping and a rat crawling up him and sniffing and he's just out. So nasty. Because rats generally, they'll only fuck with you if you're totally still. If you just any movement, they're horrified. They book. Dumbo drop. All right, let's see it. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I will peep it. Dumbo drop. Thousands of elephants parachute onto Brooklyn's most iconic block. That sounds like some fucking white boy hipster shit. That sounds like some white boy. Who said that to me? Ken, 2 questions, Ken. Hold on, let me see this picture. I'm about to ask where you're from because I forgot. Yeah, that is not New York City. What is that, Chicago? You from Chicago or something? What is that? Where are you from, first off? Secondly, why do you know about this Dumbo drop thing? What it do? H-Town? Oh, it's for a good cause. What's the good cause? Thousands of elephant beverages guy. Washington Street, Brooklyn's most iconic park. Plus, what's the point? What's the cause? For kids? Oh, some shit for kids. Okay. But what's the cause? It's saying for a good cause. It's not saying what the cause is. Oh, proceeds go directly to Dumbo's #1. Oh, to public schools. Okay. Okay. So it's for a specific public school. All right. No, that's cool. I like, if it's for a good cause, fuck it. What it do? You're in Chi-Town, so why the fuck do you know about the Dumbo drop? It's very random. The elephant is sacred to my people. We must not drop her. I'm gonna be. Mira, escúchame. ¿Tú hablas español? Alberto, escúchame. Mira. ¿Tú hablas español? ¿Sí? Escúchame, por favor. Tranquilo, Alberto, escúchame. I will be at the event live. Pero yo no live streamo. See, I just went from sounding kind of Spanish to just mad racist. You know what I'm saying? My boy is opening up his studio for the public that day. One of your boys has a studio in Dumbo? He's an artiste. Okay. Cool. Sounds good to me. Motherfuckers. Anyway. Yeah, I miss Brooklyn. My wife was telling me today she misses Brooklyn. She's very prideful, right? Because like this whole thing was a battle. Like, I'm like, I don't want to go. She's like, oh, it'll be calmer. I'm like, no, it won't. I'm like, if we're stressed there, we'll be stressed here. It doesn't make a fucking difference. So she would never admit that she kind of admitted it recently. Like, moving here didn't do much. Because you know that old saying, it's like, it's not where you go. It's not wherever you go, there you are. You know what I'm saying? So like whatever. But she's starting to kind of open up a little because she doesn't want me to be like, see, told you we should have moved. So she doesn't want to like admit fully that she misses Brooklyn, but I could tell it's building up on her. Who do you have for the Tio, man? Doesn't everybody? I think it might be tough. But I got Tio. Ryan beats Rolly, and Rolly beats Canelo beats Skull. That's right. Rolly's half Cuban, right? Or full. What's his? I don't think his mother's Cuban. Estudio español por 5 años en universidad. Here we go. I'm not Googling this. I studied Spanish for 5 years at college. Understand? I speak very little. I know that's right because I see every now and then I'll get a sentence where I understand almost like 90% of it, which is this is one. Usually I'll get like 25 to 50% of a Spanish sentence. And also when you read it, like estudio, clearly that's the word for study. Estudio español, and you wouldn't say for, you'd say por 5 años or la. Yeah, so you fucked up with the for. I don't know what would go there. Maybe por, P-O-R-R. I don't know what would go there instead of the word for, but you got it pretty good. You spent probably 1K on movers. You got to stay in CT for. I spent more than 1K, my brother. Way more. Not way more, but more. Nah, we have I think it'll probably be 2 years, like one more year tops, but who knows? If you're into art, check out his work, Mark. I'm not really, but my wife is. What kind of art does he do? Zeph. What is it? Zeph Farmby. Farmby. I'm going to send it to my wife. Zeph Farmby on Instagram. He's an artist. All right, I just sent it to my wife. Let's see. My artist is a really good artist. My wife's a really good artist. Marco knows Spanish because he was fucking Puerto Rican. That's a fact. That is a fact. Yeah. A few Boricuas, for sure. Yeah. No, that's a fact. You know enough Spanish to call someone a punk maricon. You punk maricon motherfucker. Look him up. My chat says he's a good artist in BK. Maybe you like his stuff. Anyway. Brooklyn is one of the nicest boroughs in all of NYC. I mean, it is now. Marco was sliding everybody that was talking. Marco was sliding everybody that was talking down on him. I don't get it. When? Why? You're right, but what made you say that? CJ learned from Chavez. Chavez would say all that all the time. Marco, you and Tia remind me of a couple on you and... Okay. Well, I got to watch X. I don't know what it is. Watch that show. Love art, especially young artists. Yeah, my mom. Tia's nice with it. Watercolor, just straight drawing, painting. She doesn't do sculptures. I mean, she knows how, but it's all drawing art she does. Oh, sliding. Yeah. Yeah, I had a real problem with that, especially when I was like younger, like elementary, middle school, especially middle school. I would, like, you guys see the interview with Bud and Shannon Sharp where Bud was like, yeah, when people would call me oil spill, which I don't know if I could laugh at that or not, but I've never heard somebody like, because I've heard black people fuck with each other's complexion, growing up all the time. Like, the light-skinned dudes being called something black. I never heard a dark-skinned dude being called oil spill. But anyway, did you hear how Bud was like, when they say one thing to me, I'd be like, what? And that was me. Like, yeah, I would pop off too quickly when I was younger. It's a Texas slang. All right. Oil spill's crazy, right? To be called oil spill? It's funny, but then I'm like, if I was a dark-skinned dude, maybe I wouldn't think it's funny. So I don't know. I don't know. Is that funny? Anybody dark-skinned in here? Would that be a funny thing to say if one of your boys said, or would that be just like straight bean? I mean, that's a dumb one because that insinuates that you guys swam here on your backs. Shouldn't it be wet chest? Like, don't most people swim this way? I don't really get it. Kalmala way. What's that mean? It's humiliating. Yeah, that's what I would figure. That's what I would figure. But I heard it's also, it depends where you're from, Bailey. Like, I heard a lot of dudes fucking with each other, saying all kinds of shit, and most of it was just people would just laugh. You got very few. I heard very few humiliating shit, but that does sound pretty humiliating. That's why I was like, it sounds funny, but I'm like, that's probably not funny if I was black, like dark skin like that. And it also depends. I feel like it depends how it's coming out, right? Not funny. I worked with Earth. There you go. It depends how it's coming out, right? Like, if it's a whole bunch of, if it's 2 people or 3 people who are all cool and just doing it out of love to, the yo mama joke kind of thing, it's one thing. But if it's somebody in front of a whole bunch of people you don't really know and they're trying to humiliate you, right? That's the same thing with all fucking, we used to call them snaps. That's why they would turn to fights sometimes, because, some people go too far. People watching is always adds fuel to the fire. Oh, right, because they're in the sun. My bad. That's right. Right. Well, then, I mean, everybody fucking worked hard and sweated. Oh, yeah, Marco was them Dominicans and Italian Chinese dimes, too. Wait, Jeremy, I'm sorry. Where are you from again? I know I've asked this probably 1,000 times. And you're right. All that. I was like the United Nations of Benetton, man. A lot of different dominions and districts under the belt. I usually come in town to assist whenever he has a pop-up show. Oh, dope. Marco, which race has the wettest cat? The wettest cat? I mean, I don't know if you're serious, but none. It's all varies. It varies on the person, not the race. Bud interview was fire. Yeah, Berto is wild. Depending on where you're from, the South take it more personally than the North. That makes sense. Because I talked to some Southern dudes. Yeah, I think there's just way more racism in the fucking South. So of course, you know what I'm saying? It in the North, I feel like jokes come from a place of love, whereas in the South, maybe it's a lot more like hate behind it. I would guess. No, not that high, but close. Don't forget, I've been off the market since I'm 25. So it stopped at 25. So considering that it stopped at 25, very high. But, started at 16, stopped at 25. Could have started earlier, but random question. What kind of shit did kids collect in the 80s? I mean, I don't know. Oil spill. The tar one I've heard. That's just, but see, tar, I don't even want to say it. That seemed like it was more, that seems like something more like a KKK dude would say. Like, that didn't seem like a joke. Like, I never heard that one. Like, when my boys would, like, fuck with each other. 11:59:59. I never heard that either. Oh, that's funny. 11:59:59. That's fucking funny. So you're black, I assume, Ken? What up, Legacy? United Nations of Benetton, only those of a certain ages. That doesn't exist anymore, does it, Troy? No? No more? I guess it doesn't, because I haven't seen it at all. Mark, I will send you a transcript of me berating an officer yesterday on the stand. Please. I'd love to hear that. It's not a video or an audio. It's just actually a written thing, right? What's up, Kobe? Kobe. Kobe Bizzle. I don't know what your last name is, but I'm assuming it's a B, so you're Kobe Bizzle. Oh, Kobe Bryant. That's why I said that. Subconscious. Yeah, man. I don't know what's popping off here, but I want my damn. I wonder if I'll get approved or when I'll get approved. Yeah, so I'm waiting. My man Shaq put in the good word for me. So who knows, guys? We might be talking VIP. We might be talking, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? It could be anything from just a media pass, normal shit, to like some VIP shit. Who knows? Who knows? ATL, but where I'm from, I remember it was dark-skinned dudes getting most females, especially red bone, because Wesley Snipes. I've heard, like, I remember Michael Jordan made being sexy and chocolate like fucking popular again. Ball, too. He brought Ball in. What up? Going to grab my fat ass some food. Yeah, Shane's mad fat. We'll link this show. I can't drop it though. Ben versus Eubank, nominee for Fight of the Year. Well, guys, there's a difference between action of the year an overall storyline. You know what I mean? Like, we talking about the action, or are we talking about the entire movie script? Movie script of the year for sure. Action, yeah. I mean, I think so. Oh, come on, Kobe. Friday through Sunday straight fights. Oh, the ring setup? Marco, this weekend is historic. Get some memorabilia for the chat. I'll do my best, man. Like I said, if Shaq, if I get some you know, some real VIP type access, of course. But I mean, for all I know, they could say no. You know what I mean? Because Turkey, like, yeah, Shaq is probably one of the biggest people, biggest stars. But again, it's not for him. He's asking for me, but it's still not for him. So you never know how people. We'll find out. That'd be dope if I could meet Turkey. I mean, I know what the ring setup will look like a fucking ring. It'll look like the ball dropping, just instead of a stupid stand with Mario Lopez standing on it and you know, Ryan Seacrest, it'll be a ring. A boxing ring. Hoop earrings were always tooty to me. Nah. Hoop earrings for girls. I mean, did your wife and add Zeph on the gram? I don't know. I just told her about it. Her gram is, she might get upset if I tell it. What is it? She has a bunch of her shit on there, but she doesn't put as much as she should. My wife's kind of shy with like the public. She doesn't really like being, you know, so Shaq might be busy. I saw ESPN say he got a job. He said he's working. Joey P. Boston's finest. Dominicano. Repubblica di Dominicano. I don't know if that's how you say it, but the setup shows the 5 entries and seating configuration. Yeah, but you don't know if it's real. That could be bullshit, right? But I'll tell her to hit him up. I'm gonna look him up too. He's in Brooklyn, right? Does he sell? Wait, hold on. Does he sell art at his place? Does it sell like? Maybe she could make some money. King Marco is too far. Who said that? Fuck it, close enough. Word up, Joe. My sources check out. Okay, Donald Trump Jr. Shout out to Sac State Hornets. Stinger's up. Shit, my stinger was up last night. You know what I'm saying? We watched that. Me and my wife were now watching. It's old, but we just started it. The 50 Cent show. Kanan. Raising Kanan, I believe. Kind of dope. It's 90s New York City, so I love it just off scenery alone. Yeah, he sells art at his studio website. Ah, shit. Maybe he could sell some of my wife's shit. What you think? Honestly, I think her shit is fly like a dove. Not just because she's my wife. Like, it's good. Very good. You know who got skills too? My son. He's like his mother. This kid, he's good too, but he's not at that level yet, obviously. He's only 11, but he got skills. I don't think she'd want me to. Let me see. There might be something I have. This might be old, though. If I have anything on my computer. But it would be old. She's like, over the last, like, since COVID, she got nice with it. I don't think I do, but she has it on her Instagram, actually. Let me see. Let me ask her. My chat wants to see your art on your Instagram page. Can I put the link so they can see? Because, all right, let's see what she says. I'm asking first. I ain't getting yelled at for none of you. Fuck this shit. 90s NY was more organic. Word. This chat, there's 10 of us. Yeah, but you know, you ever see how many replays? Sometimes I get 500 to 1,000 replays. So then there'll be 500 to 1,000 of us. Marco, Godfather of Harlem, is dope as well as Forcewood. Godfather of Harlem. I never saw that. Yeah, where's everybody at? Is Nestor still live, I assume? Oh, well. Yeah, yesterday was a good time. I went live at what time? Like, I normally don't do, I can't, 4 or 5. Or tonight, I'm gonna do tonight again. So we'll see. What up, Vaughn? I wouldn't be surprised if Turkey does more fights in NYC, being that there's a good population of Arabs who live in NYC. Well, yeah, but it's also NYC. It's like the biggest city, arguably in the world. Not biggest in size, you know what I mean? It's New York, number 1. LA, probably 2. What's third? Chicago, maybe. What will be the third? What will be the third biggest city? When I mean biggest, I mean popularity, shit going on, desired destination. New York, LA, 1, 2 for sure. What's third? Maybe Chicago, maybe Boston. I don't even know. Boston's but so much smaller than New York. Like, oh, good Lord. I was telling you, CJ, all of the bodegas. Now, bodegas, for those you don't know, bodegas are basically like convenience stores, right? They're little joints in the city, all independently owned, right? They were called bodega, because back in the day, they were run by almost primarily in the 70s. I think it started in the 70s and 80s, maybe 60s even, Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. So they called them bodega, which is obviously a Spanish word. Joey Joe, pilot, are you still in here? Somebody who's Spanish speaker? What, or any of you? I'm not asking the Mexican Americans because I feel like they wouldn't know that word, but what does bodega mean? Does it mean anything in Spanish? Do you know the origin, the etymology of the word? Anyway, they call them bodegas. But in the 90s, Arabs, Middle Eastern dudes, primarily people from Yemen. The overwhelming majority of bodegas in New York City are now owned and run by dudes from Yemen. So those are what bodegas are. So it actually means store in Spanish? Okay. Why do they look at you crazy? To me, it's interesting. Oh, it means little store? Well, that makes sense because that's exactly what it is. It's like, so it's the equivalent of a 7-Eleven basically, or a fucking Circle K for you dudes in the West Coast, or a what's the other one called? Something Farms. What's it called? Snowfall. Bodega's a little store. There you go. Don't slurp on the mic. I'll give you something to slurp. You can slurp on this mic if you want. If you can definitely slurp on the mic. Fruity. Sorry, I could not pass that up. Sorry. What's good, Dave? Dave, always rocking la 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 la. Nosa? What's Nosa mean? Don't tempt. He's like, sure, yes. What time? Where? I'll book my flight. I'm not getting mad. I was just obliging your request to slurp on the Bulgarian mic. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. In the Dominican Republica, we call them colmados, but they're usually bigger with a bar. With a bar. Oh, shit. Okay. Damn. So they're just dominating both markets, daytime and nightlife. Smart. Gonna go for a walk on Times Square this Friday. You missed it, Dave, but I have been officially requested admittance by my man, the big Diesel, the big Aristotle, Superman, Shaq Fu, aka Shaquille, put in a request for me to attend the fight. So I'll probably, I don't see, now I think I'll definitely probably go. But I don't know if he's getting me a media pass or if he's going to get me some VIP shit sitting in the front, one of those 300 joints. I don't know what he's doing. But I will almost definitely be there now. I was going to go anyway, I think, because it's open, but, but I'm still waiting to see what kind of admittance he's getting me. If at all, you never know. Maybe he doesn't. I can't imagine, but isn't Las Vegas the big boxing? No, I was asking what's just a bigger city overall for like the earth, not for boxing. Bro, people only drink and party in DR. Damn. Alcohol gets served at car washes. Is there a drinking age there or no? The Big Cactus hooked it up. The Big Cactus. Never heard of that one. But I got a Big Cactus for Alberto. I'm sorry. Too far. Sorry. Too far. You better report back to us, Marco. Don't go Hollywood on us. What you mean? I'll fucking go live. Maybe. See, I don't really do that, though. I'll take some videos and shit. Barochos. That means drunkards. Laws in DR, drinking age. Word, it's that bad? I didn't know. I mean, you know what? Bulgaria's the same way. Bulgaria has no drinking age. Like, they let kids in clubs. But it's different. I think because there's no restrictions on it, the kids don't really want to drink young. Here it's the whole forbidden fruit thing. When he played in AZ, he was called the Big Cactus. When did he play in AZ? Shaq played on the Suns? That must have been late in his career. I think I kind of remember that now. The Big Cactus. Nah. Like I said, I got to... bro, you out there going to think you rich because you white. Well, Joe, especially as things stand right now, it's the complete opposite of rich. What's going on over here? What, man? Great question. I think they both adjust. So I think Hagler. What up, Alan? Where you been, man? My drink? I didn't drink until I was way older, man. Because my mother was an alcoholic for a lot of my childhood. So I stayed away from it until she wasn't like it. She was definitely an alcoholic, but a different kind, but she was. I didn't drink until I was in my 20s. I stayed away from that shit. You know, some people do it. They either act just like their parents or they do the exact opposite. I was one of those. I was like, nope. And I wish I would have been able to be balanced. You know, you guys know I always preach balance now. I wish I could have, like Shane. Now, Shane knows, man. We were at parties. Everybody's drinking. Like, I could have had a little something. It didn't have to be all or nothing. I think all or nothing in life is bad. My wife taught me that, matter of fact. I'm not calling him the Big Cactus. That's not happening. It inherently sounds... Fruity. Cutting. Like, hey, Big Cactus. Nah. We're just freestyling, Alan. Ryan about to KO Rolly in 5. Damn. I mean, you can't blame him. Ryan just came off the most dominant victory of his career against, even though, you know, there's a whole drug thing, but against one of the best fighter he's ever faced. And Rolly just came off 2 fights looking like shit. Well, he won his last one, I think, right? But Devin going to knock down Jose Ramirez. And nah, I don't think he's knocking down anybody. Doesn't Ramirez have a good chin? My dad is an alcoholic. I didn't have my first drink. There you go. Alan knows the deal. That's how it is. And then I remember drinking it, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to start crying or fighting people. Like, it doesn't affect me. That, you know what I mean? Like, did you get that, Alan, when you took your sip and however your parents acted, you didn't feel that way? And you're like, oh, okay, I could have done this. That's how I kind of felt. To me, it just makes me super tired. So that's why I don't like it. It makes me just want to, like, I'll fall asleep or just like super tired. And like, you know, it's a central nervous system depressant. So. No, I think he's going to look good. I think he's going to look good against Ramirez. Corrupt? Probably steal. But we don't know for sure. You can still have fun with moderation. Yep. That's like everything in life. I wouldn't be surprised if they use red stairs in Times Square as the VIP section. I'm going to see. Fuck it. Fuck it. Going with Ryan, Jose, Arnold, and Skull. Ryan's going to win. Jose is not. Arnold is probably not. Skull is probably not either. Skull has a chance, though. I mean, dude's 6 feet. He could box. So maybe he pieces him up, stays away. Then what happens to the Bud fight? You know Bud's going to be pissed. Nobody who cares about Ryan Garcia fight knows or gives a shit about the PD thing. Ryan is going to have some ring rust. I don't think so. He is not technically sound either. You might have a point there. Oh shit.
Thank you. Come again.
Blessing others because others have looked out for me, not with the exception of receiving anything in return, not with the expectation of receiving anything in return. Pay it forward. Appreciate you. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Nello gonna hurt his shoulder. Dude been on a party roll, if you know what I mean. I don't know what you mean. What party roll? Ramirez got dropped by Josh Taylor. Right. And he doesn't hit hard. That's the problem. Connor Ben, dad said Connor just beat up Skull and made him look quit in sparring. Yeah, I heard that. Connor Ben can punch people. Connor Ben can punch, and he can punch hard. And he's fast. He's a good fighter, actually. Reminds me of his dad in a lot of ways. Eubank Sr. is very sassy lisp. Yes, he does. The procedure will be parliamentary. Parliamentary procedure. Why not do it in good faith without the bravado? No need to flex. Okay. Connor Ben, mom said he's the most handsome boy in the world. So obviously it's true. Did you guys see that? I'm sure you did. It's surfacing all over the place. That video of Chris Eubank, like a 13-year-old Chris Eubank, where he's at the house with his family, his mother. Lennox Lewis is there. And he's like begging his dad to let him box. Is it just me, or did Eubank Sr.'s lisp age more fruitily over the years? Is it just me? You look at old videos, it's still there, but it aged very fruitily. Fruitful age, right? Did it not sit there in an oak barrel and fruitfully age? Would you assume that? What Bridge do on that? Yes. Marco, your Eubank Sr. is mad fruity. Now they're good at ESPN. Might still be watching. I'm just doing what his voice sounds like. Damaged goods. Devin will hold his way to try and get a decision. Okay. Eubank clearly has veneers. Yeah, he does. Remember this. Ryan is going to come in believing he can knock Rolly out early and get caught. Rolly stinks, but will look decent early. I don't disagree with that. He's not from England. He hails from Fruitopia. Well, his mother's Jamaican. And he randomly is like, this will be a great fight. Rastafari. Sorry. I must revert to my mother's tongue sometimes. I'm like, okay. It's not the posh Eubank. He's fun. He is kind of funny, but he's very eccentric. Very eccentric. It's a British thing. That's worse than Ness impersonating you. Eubank don't sound like that. If you say so. Perhaps Eubank gets softer with age. No, he just fruitfully ages in his oak barrel like fine wine. Try Auntie Schofield. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Marco, what boxer has been the best story from childhood to the bright lights in your opinion? The best story? Shit. I can't do that. That's so I don't know. I'd have to sit and study. Marco Wyness said he would lay you out on your back. I don't know. I didn't hear him say that. Crazy, the thing they used to hate Eubank for when he was young is a reason he's so beloved now. I don't get it. What'd they hate him for? Grateful I always had bass in my voice. Haney's chin is shot. I really want to see how I was able. I don't know if it's shot or not, but this looks like puke. Coffee. The glass is a tinged teal color, so you can't really see it. But thank you. He's talking crazy. Go get him. Big news is just low. Okay. Mike Tyson. I don't know if it's Mike Tyson. Okay, cool. Thanks, Ramirez. Appreciate it. Thanks for the update, brah. Haney was on the canvas 6 times. Yeah, and was it 6? There was a few that weren't called that should have been. Hopkins or Tyson, great stories. Probably Chavez. I mean, yeah, I'd have to like rescan, like, I don't know. Puke colored cup. Puke is teal. Okay. Prediction time. All 3 of the faves won't win. Nah, chill. Oh, you think one will get upset? Well, we're hoping it's not Dev or Ryan because that might interfere with their rematch, which everybody wants to see. Who's the most dirtiest of all time? Holyfield's up there too. I would say probably Galata. Yeah, by far. Nah, George Foreman's. Why is Foreman's better? Yeah, that's probably right. Mike Tyson or Jack Dempsey or Jack Johnson or Cleveland. Cleveland Williams. Briggs has a great story. Yeah. And his is good too. It was a fake account, like when some fake. Was it? That was just a fake account? That guy saying that? Duran's the dirtiest elite fighter of all time. Why haven't you been on the Boxing Voice? We had a little fallout. Nick Ball up there. Well, of all time, I mean, he's still active. Galata gave no. Galato's is the worst. He's the worst, I think. You guys have to say he did everything from biting to low blows. I mean, everything. Quitting. Like, I mean, what other dirty things can you do besides biting and low blows? Yeah, you could do elbows. You could throw elbows. You could headbutt. I mean, Holyfield was the headbutt king. Well, I'm sure if he said that, he's joking. Galata was on Pete. Yeah, he was. Look at his back. That's a fact. It's not a fact. It's a very likely situation. You look at his back. Marco, have you seen the Hurricane movie? Yes, but I don't remember much about it. Came out in the 90s, right? Galata was on during those fights for the mob. The Polish mob? Agreed. Foreman has the best boxing tail. Yeah, I don't know. Thumb in the eye, punching the hip, rabbit punches. Well, thumbing the eye is hard to do now with the connected thumbs, but I don't think Ramirez has the D to deal with Haney. I got the D for Shane. Haney doesn't have the power to hold Ramirez off. I think it's likely the fight of the night. Interesting. I think Haney's going to be too skillful. He's just going to box him, stick and move, spin out, keep his range. And this dude will just keep coming forward, getting bobbleheaded, and then getting bobbleheaded, then resetting. And by the time he resets, Haney's already spun off. He's at a different angle. That's kind of what I see happening. And I see Haney pumping that jab in his face, pumping it like they're at a Sunoco. Carter Mayorga was dirty. He wasn't that dirty in the ring. You can. And it's hard to tell. You throw it and then you just follow through with it. Yeah, absolutely. Tyson did a lot of that. Galata did headbutts. Did he? I don't remember that. I believe it, but his actions too. The motherfucker was beating up Bo. It's so stupid. He had no self-esteem. He threw the fight because even though he kept dropping Bo wouldn't stop coming, and it made him too insecure. I've never, I get being in there and being like, oh, fuck, this guy won't stop. But you don't just quit because he won't stop when you're way ahead up on the cards. Like, Riddick Bowe is one of only 5 heavyweight champions. All right, here we go. Here what we're going to do. Trivia. Real quick trivia. Real quick, guys. 10 seconds. I want you to name. Fuck it. I'm going to give this one 20 because it's a little hard. No. Fuck it. Name all 5. I want you guys to name all 5 heavyweight champions, the only ones in history to have beaten everyone they fought. Meaning, even if they lost in the rematch, they beat them. So they've beaten everyone they fought. Heavyweight champions only. Name all 5. Whoever comes closest gets D's. Go. 10, 20, 9, 8. I'm going to do 17, 16. All 5 heavyweight champions in history, I got the clock still going, who have beaten everyone they fought. Put all 5 of them in there. All 5. I don't want 1, all 5. 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Funny enough, no, retired. So Usyk wouldn't count. Funny enough, the majority of them were crackers. You guys ready? Here we go. Marciano's correct. Lennox Lewis is correct. What made me think of this, who we're talking about, Riddick Bowe is correct. The next 2, you probably don't even know who they are. Gene Tunney, Igmar Johansson. Igmar Johansson, Gene Tunney, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis, and Rocky Marciano. They've beaten everybody they've ever fought. Ain't that some shit? Heavyweight champions. Those are the 5. Funny enough, you go to Lennox Lewis's IG, and he puts up the video of Rockman knocking him out, which is kind of dope. And he goes, I give props, blah, blah, blah. And I said, champ, because, me and Lennox did a podcast together. Like, I kind of know him. I go, you're only one of 5 who have ever beaten every fighter they've ever fought. And Lennox asked me, you can go look at it. He goes, well, who are the others? So I spit it out. Isn't that crazy? Fugazi? What, because you didn't know it? Damn. Most competitive. He doesn't know something. He gets angry. Get your studying game up, brah. Crazy stat. People don't realize that Riddick, and what made me think of it was Riddick Bowe, right? People don't realize that Riddick Bowe only had 1 loss to Holyfield, who obviously he beat twice. Because we remember that Galata fight because it was such a vicious ass whooping. But remember, those were victories by DQ for Bowe, even though he was losing both. He was losing the second one worse than the first. And Bowe came in shape, thin, all that. Didn't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Lennox Lewis fucks them all up. Yeah, because of errors. He's the biggest one. People shit on Lennox for those losses, but it matters that he destroyed the guys in the rematches. Now that makes Igmar Johansson sound like an all-time great. No, it doesn't. It's absolutely not. It's just a stat that's true. He had a lucky victory over Floyd Patterson, but it's just a stat that's true. I don't think it makes him sound like that. Gene Tunney, however, of all those, I don't think Riddick Bowe's an all-time great, and I don't think Igmar Johansson is. But Gene Tunney, I believe, is. He's so underrated. He's the only man to beat. Like, people argue that Dempsey was past his prime, but he's the only man. He was the first guy to knock fucking Dempsey off that saddle. Funny, Lewis didn't even know that himself. Wow. Yeah, I know. Man, I got to get ready to go. I'll see you later. Love, peace, and hair grease, my brother. I got 4 within the time limit. Which one did you miss? Probably Johansson or Tunney? Ingo is easy to overlook because it's... Yeah. Roley for the dub. I'm okay with that. I don't think I disagree with you, but if it happens, I'm not going to be upset. I'm not rooting for either. Mo's moniker is now Fugazi. Fugazi, I thought was just like an Italian New York thing. Somewhere there's a Swedish version of Ness using that stat to glaze Johnson. Oh, you missed it. Igmar? You said Gene Tunney? I didn't see it. What's good? Roley gonna win? All right, young man. Yeah, Gene Tunney literally studied Dempsey in order to beat him. Gene Tunney is arguably the first ever heavyweight who boxed. Modern day boxing. First one ever, they say. Dempsey might have been the first ever modern boxer to kind of go from this shit. Yeah, put him up, Shay. He was the first guy to put his hands up and be more tight. And Tunney, so Dempsey was the first to be a modern boxer. Tunney is the first boxer. Tunney was peppering Jack up like a Caesar salad. Wait, what's your criteria for all-time great? That's a whole different conversation, JTM. We'll talk about that for days. Everybody's is different. Mine, all-time great? I mean, it's kind of the same criteria for pound, I guess. It's achievement, dominance, and skill. And another big one for me, I only look at their primes. I don't look at dudes who fought past their prime, because most did. Yeah, added Tunney right at the bell, like when Briggs beat Kovic. Who the fuck is Kovic? What belt? Briggs didn't win no damn belt. Briggs beat Foreman, but most people thought Foreman beat him, right? I never saw that fight straight through. I should. He's weird. I've asked him who hits the hardest, and like sometimes he says Foreman, sometimes, because I know Shannon personally. Sometimes he switches up his answers. It's never like a real answer. Of course we do. You know that. Just like we got to ignore Joe Louis getting knocked out by Marciano when he's like damn near 40. Absolutely. Just like we got to ignore Sugar Ray Robinson or Archie Moore fighting at 50 and losing. Like, you got to go prime. You got to go prime. There's only been a handful of fighters who are smart enough and disciplined, because it takes discipline to stay away from boxing when you're addicted to it, to hang them up when they should. Yep. And Immersion getting brutally KO'd. Yeah, he got fucked up. Immersion? Immersion? What the fuck's immersion mean? They ain't making you look up a word. I thought it means to like immerse. Yeah, immersing. So that's probably a typo, because that wouldn't make any sense. Immediately, okay, that's what I'm like, immersion. What the fuck? Because I know Mo's a smart guy, so I'm like, that is that some word? Is he teaching me a new one? When was B-Hop true prime? He, like Archie Moore, like Antonio Tarver, like those guys, actually, some guys prime older. Some guys do. It's rare, but it happens. Hopkins' prime was when he went on that like 11, 12-year streak of not losing. That had to be his prime. Man, you could argue it was his prime when he drops and beats Tarver. They were both older, but they were still at the top of at the light heavyweight division at the time. For me, all-time rankings should be based on achievements and dominance in their primes. Achievements, dominance. I look at skill too. Like, skill will put me, skill will make me be able to rank it. If you know what I'm saying, like if guys have equal achievements and dominance, but one just was like, you're like, whoa, I never seen power like B-Hop. I'm gonna put a De La Hoya or Sugar Ray Leonard or Roy over B-Hop because B-Hop's skill was mediocre. His IQ was stellar, but his skill was mediocre. So I'm going to put guys who have better skill over guys who have, guys like Ward and B-Hop. These are workhorses. Got Marciano. Marciano had a lot of power, so yeah, maybe that's not a fair one to put in. You know what I mean? Briggs beat Sierra Leotovich W. But CJ, the WBO wasn't a major sanctioning body at the time. The only belt that he really won, in my opinion, was when he beat Foreman for the lineal. I don't think he actually won a WBC, IBF, or WBA, which was the only ones that were active at the time. 2007. Yeah, WBO wasn't, right? WBO was something in the 10s. Like, when did the 4-belt era start? That was still the 3-belt era. Motherfucker! Ron, I'm glad you don't focus on records. Losses make good boxers great. Who the fuck is Ron? Rob, maybe? You idiot. Got detention for watching you in class. My son had detention today. Nah, no, it wasn't. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Bullshit. Let me ask you a question. CJ, I'm looking up right now. The last champion, Zab Judah versus, what the fuck's his name? Was the last 3-belt era champion as welterweight was absolutely Zab. And he fought, who was the guy that he fought? Who's the fucking guy that he fought? Something with a B. What year was that? B. Baldemir. What year was that fight? That fight was 2006. Okay. So we're maybe. I think that was right at the fucking borderline of when they started recognizing it. I disagree. Marco B-Hop was extremely technical and skilled, and he was natural gifts. That's what I said. We just said the same thing. I just said his IQ was stellar. His skills, meaning speed, power, athleticism, average. We're saying the same thing. What's up? Hey, what's mommy doing? She's upstairs. Because I got to go get Novi in a little. Who got killed worse, Paul Williams or Pac-Man? Same. Pac-Man looked like I think people were more worried about Pac-Man. He looked like he died more. Yeah, he watches some of my videos. He doesn't really know boxing like that, so HBO didn't recognize WBO until 2000s, but right, 2000s. We're trying to figure out when. Was Briggs when he won it? Yeah, make sure she's getting ready, please. Was Briggs, was 07, was the WBO recognized? How can we figure that out? Matter of fact, let's see. Let's do this together. Fuck it. And I'm not trying to be right here, by the way. I'm trying to actually, if you're right, you're right. Let's do ChatGPT first. Okay. What year was the WBO recognized as a major sanctioning body in boxing? Let me spell that right, even though sanitize. Sanctioning. All right, let's see. Here we go. I'm going to do two different things. It was founded in 88, in the 90s, began early 2000s. By the mid-2000s, it was generally considered one of the four. That's what it says there. Okay, by the mid. But I know in 06 it wasn't. So, because we can go by... All right, how about this? Who's the first on no, fuck. What else should we do? What year was the recognized? When did the four belt era in boxing begin? Let's see what this says. Four belt era, it became widely established in 04, around 04. Okay, so it says that, but again, we know for a fact that in 06, it was only three belts. Spinks, right. Well, no, Zab. Zab beat Spinks, Alan. So what are we doing here? I'm confused. I'm Black G. I mean, you might have a point. 06 for sure. It wasn't. So 07 it might have been. But what other belt did Briggs win? Because he says two-time heavyweight champ. He always says that about himself. Klitschko brothers have the WBO in 05, and the champ makes the belt. No, not true. Because Prince Nassim held it. He was the first to shine any light on the WBO. We're talking the mid to late 90s. But he wasn't considered one of the major ones then. But he did shine light on it. Right? And he cared. England. So the WBO, Mo, was always a major sanctioning belt, or at least in the 90s for sure, and on in Europe, in England. But for us, it wasn't. That's the problem with boxing, guys, is why we always talk about this. Everything's subjective, right? Boxing is subjective, is the t-shirt. It's all subjective. We don't know. If there was a fucking league, we wouldn't even be having this fucking conversation. Well, lineal plus WBO, two separate reigns. So the lineal is what they talk about, I guess. We're taking the heavyweight. We're talking heavyweights, though. Well, no, it should be. So you're saying that the WBO, the four belt era, started at different times for different weight divisions? I mean, it might have. I wouldn't put it by. I don't really remember when it. To me, I felt like it was the early 2010s, personally. Like where it was, I remember like 2010, 2011, like then. In my recollection, that's when the four belts that was four belts. I don't remember it being in the O's, the 2000s. It was 2010s on for me, but whatever. Because the problem is too, you say champions make the belts. Who said that? Who said that? I think it was Mo. You said champions make the belts. So Briggs beating some dude we never fucking heard of, who was the champion before him. So what? Briggs made it? Like he beat, that's the thing. Look who he beat. It also says the dudes who are holding those belts, you can clearly see the level of elitism in the fighter back then who held the belt. Look at the WBO champions. All right, let's do this. Fuck this shit. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's figure it out. We'll figure it out right now. My man Mo CJ says in 07. List of WBO boxing champions in 2007. Now, we're going to look at these champions and have an idea of what we got going on here. Okay. 04. Okay. So these are all just heavyweights, which I don't like. And I don't want to do heavyweights. I like to see all the WBO champions. List of WBO champions. No. All right. I don't think there's a list of that. List of WBO champions. Let's see. World champions. Heavyweight. Yeah, I don't know how to find this. Yeah, let's see this. Hold on. Forbidden. Why is it forbidden? All right, whatever. I can't find it now. I'm curious who were all the other champions at 2007, because it was a bunch of nobodies. Then it's not correct. There's no credence to it, right? Because if it was a sought after belt, you know what I'm saying? Here, let's see this. WBO. Let's do middleweight. Middleweight champions in 2007. This is okay. See, why is it? Oh, okay. Here we go. Never mind. No, we could do it here. It's 2007. We know was Shannon Briggs beat it from Sultan Abramimov. Okay. Junior heavyweight. No, let's go to light heavyweight. Who was the light heavyweight champ in 2007? You know who it should have been? It was Zladi Erdi, unknown. Super middleweight, 2007 champion. Joe Calzaghe, okay, but he's British. They care about it. Middleweight champion, 2007. Where are we here? Jermaine Taylor. Okay. He was a name. Junior middleweight champion, 2007. It was Zerdia Jajabajavarak, unknown. Welterweight champ, 2007. Antonio Margarito. Okay. Junior welterweight champ, 2007. It was Ricardo Torres, unknown. Lightweight champ, 2007. Celino Fritas, known. The next weight class, Juan Guzman, junior lightweight. Never heard of him. Never fucking heard of him. And now let's go to featherweight and I'll stop. Featherweight, 2007 champion, Juan Manuel Marquez. Okay, so it seems to me that it was half and half. Half of the weight divisions had accredited real top 10 fighters, and the other half had unknown people. So I would say that in 2007, based on this information, it was not officially the four belt era yet, because all the champions were unknowns. Half of them were unknowns, excuse me. What do we agree with that, or is that no? It's to me it sounds half legit. Half isn't. It's too legit to quit, not half legit to quit. You're a Northern Cali guy. Too legit, not half legit, half legit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Right. This is correct, Mo. And when it stopped being that way, when all four became the belts to go after, that's when the Undisputed Era and the four belts started. And at this point, it seemed like it was still very European. Half of the champions that I read off in 2007 were European. That's why, you know what I'm saying? So half of it might have been just because I don't think it was just yet. What's up, Joaquin? Personally. But, you know, close. Okay. It's close. It's close. It's close. So because Europeans, we're talking about because the Europeans, they actually coveted the WBO belt. That's what I'm saying. They cared, right? Whereas the rest of the country, the rest of the world didn't care at that time. Now, you get where I'm coming at? Now everybody cares about the WBO. At that, in 2007, based on all those champions, it looked like people were starting to care, but not fully yet. I'm telling you, man, I think around 2010, it was unequivocally four-belt era. What up, Eonian? Yo-yo? Yoda? Yogurt? Yo. Yeah, yo. Yeah, yo. What up, yeah, yo? Yeah, Tony? Yeah, yo? Yoda? Whatever. You're talking politics of the sport. I'm talking merits of the sport. No, we're trying to figure out when was the four-belt era. When was it officially on in Pizoppin? That's what we're trying to figure out. Now, again, boxing is subjective. This is a subjective thing. I'm not going to totally say you're crazy for saying 2007 because there is an argument for it. To me, a little later. Huh? I literally seen the noti but forgot to join. Great. So you just don't give a fuck. Nice. Thanks for sharing. B-Hop won all 4 in 04. Can't take that from him. Nope, you fucking sure. Did he? I didn't know that. No, you can't. I'm a loser? That's rude. This is boxing's unsolved mystery. Nah, it's about subjectivity. That's what this sport's like. There's so much subjectivity in this sport. It's arbitrary. In my book, WBO in the heavyweight division counted. Right, sort of. But look at the other fighters who were champions at the time. Yeah, I don't know. You have an argument for it. I'm saying it's not cut and dry, but in my opinion, I want to say like probably 2010 and on, it became like something. Because I remember when Prince had it, I'm like, what the fuck's the WBO? And I'm like, why does he care so much about this stupid belt? You know, because as Americans, we're like, what? But he made the shit dope. Like, you're right, it is about the fighter. But unfortunately, the rest of the public has to get behind it. And it's all subjective. Like, it's so ridiculous that there's not an official association or a board that says, okay, this is now officially a belt. It's not. It's just whatever we decide is a belt's a belt. I remember there was the US, what was it? The USBA one. That was the one. You guys remember in the 90s? I think it was a USBA. It was the one. It was kind of like boxing's version of the Intercontinental WWF belt. It was the one that was like, okay, you're not a world champ, but you're an intercontinental, like you're right there. USBA was I remember that. That was like, oh, you get that, you're fucking somebody. You're not the man, but you're somebody with that one. And that faded. Zab wasn't undisputed. No, Zab was undisputed with 3 belts. Yeah, that's what we're saying. In 06 was the 3-belt era. You missed the conversation. CJ said that he thinks 07 because Briggs won the WBO. And I'm like, well, this is a conversation, Ian. I got to go in a second. But we're talking, was Briggs technically a world champion? Because he won the WBO, but he won that in 07. And my whole thing, I'm trying to figure out, was 07, was the WBO officially part of the 4 major sanctioning bodies in 07? To me, it seems like not officially. We could say arguably, but not officially. Does anybody disagree with that? Arguably, but not officially. Being that literally a year earlier in 06, it was only 3 belts. A year earlier, unequivocally, Zab Judah had won the undisputed welterweight championship. He is, and that's only a year earlier. So can you argue a year later? You can argue it, but I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. NABF might have been the one I was talking about, actually, Troy. I think NABF is what I meant. I think it was yeah, all those. I think it was NABF. There was one specific. I think it was NABF or USBA. I don't remember. Well, again, that's subjective. That's subjective. People were looking at fucking Vlad. I mean, my man Layman Brewster knocked Vlad out. Remember? Nobody considered Vlad a fucking heavyweight champion when he beat, you know what I mean? Excuse me, nobody considered Layman, really. So it's very subjective. Anyway, all right, guys, I got to go. Got to pick up my daughter. Catch you guys tonight, 10 p.m. Yo, I need 4 more raffles to get this on and popping. Just 4 more, guys. Let's do it. Next up, it's coming. My sponsors are sending me a Muhammad Ali bobblehead. Dope one, too. So that's next. That is next. You can start coming in. You can start raffling off for that one, too, if you want. Appreciate you guys, as always. We'll pick this up later. I appreciate you guys. Peace.